For centuries, there have been quests for prosthetic replacement of lost parts. Even today, there is still no device which can truly substitute for real parts. Any prosthesis can meet only very specific and well-defined objectives, and none can meet all. And even the prosthesis which we at American Hand Prostheses in New York in the United States and Scandinavian Orthopedic Laboratory in Lund, Sweden can offer, which commands benchmark status for quality, is not truly a replacement of a real part. Missing parts are gone and cannot truly be replaced. Therefore, accurately identifying the most important need of each individual and targeting this is a key factor for successful prosthetic fitting. In the past, the aim within prosthesis technology was to fulfill the physiological demands. The fact that the prosthesis should look natural was neglected. What are realistic expectations from upper limb prostheses? This simple question is very important for anyone considering a prosthesis and should be given the most serious consideration. The most basic rule is that any prosthesis can meet only limited and very specific goals. We have grown from recognition of the fundamental fact that disfigurement of a constantly exposed hand is a stigma, a distraction from the purpose of encounters, and thus a real socio-economic handicap. This is increasingly important in modern mobile societies, where more than 70% of the workforce is engaged in the service industries, people making a living by direct face-to-face contact. A basic goal of all our prostheses is to provide socially acceptable presentation, generally eliminating the stigma of disfigurement, or at least reducing it to where it does not interfere with the primary purpose of encounters. We founded with realization that most successful hand prostheses in the future will be mechanically simple helping devices of socially acceptable appearance. Our efforts have been concentrated chiefly on passive prostheses, which today will benefit by far the greater number of people. Flexibility in individual design, uncompromising standards of quality and service, and attention to details others ignore has led to our hand prostheses being the standard against which all others are judged. Yet it is emphasized that even our prostheses fall short of true replacement of missing parts. They are, for well-defined and specific purposes, recognition of that which is essential to realistic expectations and satisfaction. The high quality and perfect appearance of the aesthetic hand prostheses can only be achieved through intensive work and individual manufacture. As a consequence, they are relatively costly to produce and demand close cooperation with the prospective user during their preparation. Following a preliminary discussion concerning the choice of prosthesis, an impression is made of the intact hand and, in the event of partial loss, also one of the damaged hand. The mold is then reversed and used for making a thin, transparent silicone glove of the highest quality. Our technology is so advanced that patents have been granted by the United States, United Kingdom, France and other major countries. Unfortunately, mass fabrication is labour-intensive, as demonstrated by the meticulous sculpturing in wax of this master model. The silicone glove undergoes a colouring process carried out by specially trained artists. The coating of colour is sealed beneath a layer of transparent silicone, which both protects the colour agent from mechanical wear and gives the coloration a realistic depth. The biochromatic colouring process mimics nature with a translucent surface beneath which pigments are deposited according to the individual's characteristics. Colour matching is superior to any previously achieved. In order to obtain the best possible results concerning coloration and characteristics, the user must participate in the colour application process. If living in an area of major seasonal changes, one prosthesis of basic summer and another for winter is desirable. The biochromatic colour matching is so good that traditional use of a ring to disguise the juncture with the skin becomes purely an option. The fingernails are also made individually. The nails are made of a hard, wear-resistant material. They can be filed down if the user wishes to shorten the nail length. A major innovation is the short and mini prosthesis, which leaves the middle joint, when present, free for normal movement. These unique prostheses cover only the fingertip and can restore the pad or just the fingernail. Using nail polish is an option.
I lost my finger, part of my finger, about 20 years ago, and it was a very traumatic thing to happen in my life, especially at the time. It affected me both physically and emotionally. It just changed my life, and I didn't think of it so much then as I do now when I look back and I saw how it affected me. But about 6 years ago, I heard of the American Hand Prosthetics, and I came and I saw Genevieve, and she made me a prosthetic for my finger, and I have to tell you that it changed my life tremendously, and I'm very grateful for it, and I feel that the emotional and the physical stress that I dealt with all those years, and I was afraid, I didn't want to talk to anybody about it because I was embarrassed and felt very awkward about it. But now that I have my finger, I realize that this is not a cosmetic thing, it's an emotional thing. It helps people. This is something that's very necessary, and people should be aware of it. The medical insurance companies should be aware of it, and they should support this 100%.
I'm an attorney, and I'm 53 years old. I've been an amputee since birth, above the elbow, and I've had numerous prosthetic devices all of my life. I started coming to American Hand Prosthesis in 1987, and they have made several prostheses for me, including the current one. It has aided greatly in my social and business situation because of its precise look and feel, the genuineness of the hand, the fit of the shoulder, which is identical to my other shoulder, and it has been not just a simple cosmetic device. It has no physical function, but it has a tremendous social and psychological function, and you just don't even give it a second thought during the day or in any kind of a situation. You're just one of any number of people walking down the street. People can't tell the difference whether you have two arms or not, and you're accepted as such, and it's been quite marvelous.
Selection of the manufacturer is important, not only for initial design and quality of fabrication, but also to be certain that prompt and reliable follow-up services will be provided. American Hand Prosthetics and Scandinavian Orthopedic Laboratory constantly provide the care and service patients need to get the most from their prostheses. Our sockets are light, non-irritating, and when possible, soft and flexible for maximum comfort. Elbow units can swing freely or be locked, and the wrist coupling allows the hand to be easily rotated so its palm faces to the thigh for walking or downwards for sitting naturally.
My name is Kathleen Telch. I'm a journalist. I've been a journalist for many, many years. When you do an interview, it's important that the person you're trying to reach be entirely natural and not stare at your hand. With this prosthetics, I'm relaxed, and the people I interview are relaxed. It makes a big difference. And it also made it possible for me to conduct these interviews in a completely informal and casual manner. It's the most natural-looking device I've seen, and I have shopped around a great deal before I came here.
When the loss is at the wrist level, prosthetic fitting usually can be done without a forearm socket. Flexible armatures built into a hand prosthesis allow its configuration to be passively changed with the normal hand for holding light objects. This capability also contributes to near-normal social presentation.
This device enables me to move the fingers so that when I'm using my word processor, I can tap out the capital letters, but also helps me if I'm holding a fork and knife. I can put the fork inside my hand, and it holds it securely.
About 4 years ago, I had an accident with a wood chipper. resulting in the removal of my right hand. As part of getting on to accepting this condition, a very important decision was the selection of the prosthesis. The option that was given to us was a myoelectric hand, which was the only option offered at the time, and it did not fit our needs in that the hand made noise. It had a battery which could run down, often leaving the hand stuck on some object, and it wasn't appropriate for me given my work on Wall Street, where appearance is oftentimes paramount. We were elated to find that the hand produced by American Hand Prosthetics was an option for us. When we first noticed the hand, we realized how realistic it looked and how it would meet all of our needs. Today, I'm able to swim, to play tennis, to drive, to do everything that I have to do.
My name is Donald Grody. I'm a professional actor. I lost the top digit of my middle finger of my left hand some years ago. And in order to continue with my work, it was necessary for me to get a prosthesis. It was made for me very promptly, and I became accustomed to it almost at once. The use of it in the theater is unnoticed by my fellow actors unless I call their attention to it. So it has a very natural look and a natural feeling.
Weeping, yes, the strangest sound you ever heard.
Improving physical capability is a constant design criteria. This is most impressively achieved with partial hand prostheses. Use of remaining thumb or fingers is enhanced by prosthetically providing parts against which they can work. Restoration of near normal appearance is an important bonus. Partial hand prostheses are usually the most difficult to develop, but they're very rewarding. These are superb. The fit is so precise that both pressure and position sense is transmitted to the body for subconscious control.
Hi, my name is Charles Yatsko. I had an injury to my left hand 11 years ago, crushing most of the hand, and I've been associated with Dr. Beasley and AHP for 10 years now. They allow me to live a normal life, as normal as possible under the circumstances. They allow me to interact with other people on a one-on-one basis, and it allows them to interact with me for who I am, not for my injury, and I'm treated quote-unquote normal as anyone else would. And I don't think that someone with an amputation can ask for anything more, or any injury for that matter, than to be just treated normal. The prosthetic itself is unbelievable. People don't even notice. Give you an example, when I played baseball in college, I had a teammate of mine who was unaware of the injury for a whole season. For a whole year, he didn't even know that I had an injury. That's how good the prosthetic is.
Realistic expectations from our prostheses are not the true replacement of missing parts. However, they minimize the stigma and socio-economic handicap of disfigurement and improve the physical capability to the extent which is realistically possible.